Yeesh, super muddy. Either way, if I was to be riding this, I would have probably destroyed it even more than it is now. Good morning, YouTube. It's Saturday morning and I'm a little hungover from last night. I was meant to be going riding today, but figured I'd do something exponentially safer than that. And come down to my local downhill track. Just see what's been happening over here, how it's weathered, and if it needs a bit of a fix. So let me walk you through it. First off, that's an easy little right-hander. We'll retreat. We got this little bubble and another one. Okay, hold up. At this point, we have three line choices. One to go straight over a little kicker into a part of the track that's not been built yet. The middle line that flows down to a step down, following the most direct way down the hill. And this left line that leads to a shark fin setting you up for a landing right in a little berm and then follows the same way down as the middle line. And this is step down. Over the path. More jumps here. Case that so badly. Another berm. Shit's so slippery right now. This needs to be finished off. Whew. Awesome fun with the jump line. So I had a chat with the original builder, or at least one of the people who's been doing work on this track. So I have kind of a rough idea of what their vision of this place is, and I think my vision kind of aligns with that. This place has been ridden for ages. I mean, there were tracks here since about 2007, I think. But then I guess the people who built these tracks originally just moved away, and then the track just kind of didn't get worked on from there. So the new generation, yours truly, and a few other people, need to take over the job and just fix this thing up for the next generation of riders. So my idea for today is this middle section. It needs to get opened up. So you're kind of turning the wrong way over here, and then the berm, it's just too short to do all your braking and cornering at the same time. Let's get the shovel out and start smacking some dirt around. There's no real elevation in Stockholm, and all the hills that we ride here are man-made piles of building rubble with some dirt thrown on top. Luckily, the dirt here is decent enough to work with. So the first order of business is to extend the berm up the hill. This means that if you scrub off enough speed on the straight right before this section, you can start turning earlier and not have to brake and turn in the berm further down. So hopefully you can accelerate out the turn and have more exit speed off the shark fin. This bit of the berm needed to be reinforced, so I dug in a few solid, thick branches to hold it in place and then pack the dirt down as well as I could. Once I was happy with where the berm starts, I started working my way down and building up the height and perfecting the gradient. The highest point in the berm should be right before the shark fin, so this area needed to be reinforced more than the bit before it, since this is where you'd be pumping to gain extra speed. I drove a few stakes into the ground as supports and then built up the side of the berm with more solid thick branches and then piled up more dirt to build up the height. All this will need extra reinforcement from the back of the berm as well, but I'll get to that later. After a bit more compacting, I decided to call it a day and bask in the glory of my creation. Alright, it's been like just over 2 hours. My little berm is, it's starting to look the part. Just look at that. Fresh and smooth.
1 week later.
I couldn't get the entire build done last weekend, so decided to come back this weekend. But unfortunately, the weather rolled in. So guess I'm gonna have to do some digging in the rain. That's not a major problem. However, guinea pigging this line is gonna be. The ground's really soft, so I don't want to ruin my beautiful looking berm over here. by putting some tires in it. So today's mission is to strengthen the back of that berm, just put more stakes in it. And also that drop over there, that's a drop that's meant to have a landing right over here. That drop needs to just get a little bit more height, maybe a log or two, we'll see. Also, if I have time, that berm is where you're going to be landing if you go off this little shark fin. So that needs to get built up and sorted out. And then there's the beautiful run out all the way down there where I'm gonna have to put a higher berm because now we're gonna have more speed. All right, let's get digging. Okay, so at this point I was really hoping to find more stones to pile up as support, but I figured I'd carry them in later after I packed some dirt down first. This turned out to be a bit of a Bambi on ice situation. The dirt was so wet that every time I tried to push the shovel in the ground, I'd slide down the hill. I also decided to raise the height of the berm just a little yet again. Alright, onto the step down. If you're gonna cut logs, bring a full-size axe or saw.
1 eternity later.
I figured I'd start piling up the height of the drop first, so I can see early on if the landing needed any adjustments, since the shark fin and the drop share the same landing. After I got that figured out, I moved onto the front supports and making the entire thing just more structurally sound. A bit more compacting, and it was pretty much ready. The back of the berm, just like the back of that jump, still needs a little bit of work. I haven't been able to find the right amount of stones to stack up behind it, but needs a bit more over there. Maybe that shark fin needs a little bit of work, just making it a bit higher on this side so you can really kind of throw yourself up the hill. This is an ongoing project, and hopefully I'll get it ready by the end of summer. Maybe then we can have some kind of event here. Ride bikes, drink beer, barbecue something. We'll see. And like I said earlier, I'd love nothing more than to hit this right now. But given the state of the mud, first of all, I'm gonna slide out and die. And then I'll probably just ruin whatever little work I've done right now. So I'm gonna leave that until it dries out a little bit. And hopefully have a nice little session over here. Alright, so the whole idea of this project was to revive an old relic of a track, and I don't know, but lately, since I was a kid, I'm thinking more and more about just leaving something for the next generation. You know, building a track that the kids can ride, setting up some kind of, I don't know, little riding community that future generations can enjoy and grow from. And I think that building a track is one of those simple ways of getting involved in that. The thing is, you don't really need much elevation to build a decent track, and I mean, all you need is some kind of land where people are not going to get pissed off. So yeah, just go out there, build something fun to ride, and then invite me to come and ride it. If you like this kind of content, hit the like button, share, subscribe, and I'll continue this series in the future. All right, I'll catch y'all later. Now go out and ride hard.